Hello everyone, I'm going to demonstrate to you how to bone and cut each part into primal cuts. So this is a whole pork leg. Decent size, beautiful. First of all, I am removing the pork tail bone by only using the tip of your knife right against that bone. Really good, cut it up for pork bones. Really good for stock foods. Next one that I'm removing right through that joint, cut it through that joint. This is a trotter. Really good for slow cooking, roasting, as you break down the connective tissue. So that pork trim that I've removed from the hip bone, chuck that for pork mince or sausages. The next bone that I am removing is the hip bone. So this is a hip bone. You're pretty much boning around the bone, following the bone, right against the bone. Just make sure you're only using the tip of your knife. You don't want to create any deep cuts into your rump steaks, because the whole rump steaks, the whole rump, that I'm going to cut it up into rump steaks. Easy, look. Now this is a hip bone, trimming the excess meat. Cut it up for pork bones. Good for stock food. Beautiful. This is the tenderloins that I'm removing from the pork leg, trimming the excess. I'm trimming this excess fat, squaring it up. And this is a pork tenderloins. Another name is to call pork tenderloins is pork eye fillet. So that's a pork tenderloins. Next one that I'm removing is the whole rump. Gently use your knife, only using the tip of your knife, right against the fat of the pork skin. Gently remove it, the whole rump from the pork skin or the pork crackling. And then this is a pork crackling, scoring it up. Really delicious. So an amount of fat that's in the middle, when you cook it, it's really crunchy, so delicious, tasty. So I'm moving the excess meat from the pork crackling or the pork skin. Now I'm squaring it up. I'm going to square this pork rump up, trimming the excess fat, any gristle, any bone, ready to slice. Beautiful. Whole pork rump, ready to slice. The remaining trim, same procedure for mince, for sausages, or to dice it up. Whole pork rump ready to slice. So now I am removing the remaining pork skin on the pork leg. Just make sure you're only using the tip of your knife gently using it right against, following and at the same time you're using your left hand just to control and to pull. You're gently using your knife right against a pork skin and to remove it. So I'm trimming up these remaining excess meat. Squaring it up, the pork skin or the pork crackling. Same procedure, scoring it up. It's up to you if you want to leave it whole. But right now I'm going to cut it up into 3 pork cracklings. So I'm trimming out that remaining excess meat. So this is the 3 pork crackling. Beautiful. Pork cracklings. So next one that you're removing is topside cap. Can chuck that into mince or pork trim ready for mince or sausages, or dice it up. It's totally up to you. Next cap that I'm removing is knuckle cap. The remaining trim, sausages or mince or dice it up, totally up to you. So the next bone that I am removing from the pork leg is the marrow bone. Let's make sure you're only using the tip of your knife right against that bone. Follow your knife around that bone, right against that bone. You don't want to create any deep cuts into the top side or the silver side or the knuckle, because these are the cuts that I'm going to slice it up into primal cuts. So this is a marrow bone. Cut that up for pork bones. Really good for stock foods. So these are seamed there. By removing the knuckle, just following the seam, trimming out that excess fat, squaring it up. Check this in the gristle, excess fat, any bones, and ready to slice. The remaining trim, same, pork, mince, sausages, dice. So remove that full silver skin from the silver side. Remaining trim for pork mince or pork sausages. pork sausages. Next one that I'm removing from the Silverside by following the seam. This is the top side. Trimming out these excess fat. Just checking if there's any gristle, any bones. Squaring it up. Ready to slice. Same procedure. Next one that I'm removing from the Silverside is a whole mouse end. Trimming out any excess fat, I'm trimming it out. Any bones, I'm also squaring it up. Ready to slice. Beautiful. So that's a whole mouse end. This is a whole Silverside. I'm removing the excess fat. Also check if there's any bones, any gristle. They're removing these excess fat. Squaring it up and ready to slice. This whole Silverside, I'm going to slice it up or cut it up into pork dice. So pretty much your hand, the right hand is cutting it up. Your left hand is pretty much just to support and also to support and control. So it's really important to have a sharp knife just to cut all these primal cuts. It makes your job a lot easier and faster. Next one is a mouse end. I'm going to slice it up for dice. Just make sure when you're removing your pork skin from make sure you're only using the tip of your knife, because you don't want to create holes in your pork skin or your pork crackling. Just a reminder, just to let you know. Okay, gently remove it. Alright. So I'm squaring it up, the dice or the pork rub. And that's ready to slice. Square that up. And ready to slice for pork rump steaks. Beautiful for barbecue. Also pork dice for casserole or stewing, braising, simmer, whatever slow cooking. And that's a pork rump steaks. Next is a knuckle. squaring it up, slicing it up for pork leg steaks. And that's beautiful. Really good for barbecue. Delicious. Next is the top side. I'm squaring it up. I'm going to slice it up, cut it up for pork schnitzel. That's a demonstration of a whole pork leg. I will see you next time. Goodbye.